no major Hollywood studio would touch him. Insurance companies laughed at the very idea. To the entire industry, Robert Downey Jr. was simply a risk too great to ever take again. Welcome to Legacy Lens TV. Today we uncover the raw, unfiltered story of how one of cinema's greatest talents hit rock bottom before building the most iconic comeback in Hollywood history. Long before the headlines turned dark, he possessed a rare, effortless brilliance. Directors knew it, audiences felt it, and critics praised a young actor who seemed destined for absolute greatness. His transformation to Charlie Chaplin earned him worldwide acclaim and an Academy Award nomination. He proved he wasn't just a movie star, but a profound artist capable of true depth. Yet fame is a heavy burden when carrying personal demons behind closed doors. The bright lights of Hollywood began to expose the cracks forming deep beneath the glittering surface of success. The descent was swift and punishing. Arrests replaced movie sets, mugshots replaced magazine covers, and the industry that once celebrated his every move suddenly looked the other way entirely. Tabloids feasted on every stumble. Courtroom appearances became public spectacles, transforming a celebrated cinematic icon into a cautionary tale broadcasted across television screens in millions of homes worldwide. The inevitable consequence arrived behind prison walls. Stripped of all privilege, status, and luxury, he faced the raw reality of his choices in an unforgiving environment designed to break spirits. In the deep quiet of isolation, survival required confronting the person staring back in the mirror. Every past mistake, every lost opportunity, and every broken promise demanded an honest, brutal reckoning. When he finally stepped back outside, freedom brought a harsher truth. Hollywood had completely closed its doors. Producers refused to take calls, and insurance underwriters flatly rejected his name on any contract. Without a completion bond, an actor is merely an expensive ghost in the machine. No financial backer was willing to risk millions on a talent considered entirely volatile and fundamentally untrustworthy. Desperation breeds resilience. Even when the cameras stayed dark, he began taking tiny steps forward, accepting whatever modest work he could find to prove his dedication to a sober life. True friends refuse to let go when the world walks away. People like Mel Gibson stepped up, putting their own reputations on the line to personally guarantee his commitment and fund his survival. He returned to acting through television guest spots, pouring absolute commitment into every single line. He wasn't chasing stardom anymore. He was simply rebuilding his craft one grueling day at a time. Bit by bit, the narrative began to shift. The industry noticed his flawless reliability on set, his complete sobriety, and the undeniable magnetism that made him impossible to ignore completely. Mel Gibson produced The Singing Detective, casting his friend against all odds. It was a gritty, eccentric role that allowed Robert to channel his profound pain directly into remarkable performance art. Critics took notice once again. His performance was raw, vulnerable, and entirely fearless. He wasn't hiding behind characters anymore. He was using his own fractured history to illuminate the screen. He followed up with Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, delivering a masterclass in razor-sharp comedic timing and neurotic charm. Director Shane Black saw a man ready to reclaim his rightful place in cinema. That film proved his comedic genius had never faded. It showcased an actor who had matured, shedding his past arrogance for a sharp, self-aware wit that resonated deeply with modern audiences. Then came the ultimate audition. Marvel Studios was planning an ambitious, risky film about a secondary comic book hero named Iron Man, led by a director who wanted Robert for the title role. Jon Favreau knew instinctively that Robert wasn't just playing Tony Stark, he was Tony Stark. Both had tasted immense early success, hit devastating personal walls, and desperately needed a miraculous redemption arc. Marvel executives balked at the suggestion. Insuring a former convict for a multi-million-dollar franchise opener was corporate suicide in the eyes of studio boardrooms terrified of financial disaster. Favreau fought relentlessly for his choice. He arranged a screen test that blew everyone away, proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that Robert owned the character's signature swagger and vulnerable soul. He finally landed the contract, albeit with a modest salary and strict studio conditions. It was a massive gamble for Marvel, but an absolute lifeline for an actor eager to resurrect his career. Production began with unprecedented energy. Robert brought an electric improvisational spirit to Tony Stark, injecting genuine wit and emotional complexity into a blockbuster comic book adaptation. He wasn't merely reciting lines, he was crafting a cultural icon from scratch. Every sarcastic remark, every brilliant scientific breakthrough, and every subtle glance reflected his own hard-won life wisdom. When Iron Man premiered in the summer of 2008, it shattered expectations worldwide. It wasn't just a box office smash, it was a cultural lightning bolt that changed the trajectory of Hollywood forever. That single post-credit scene birthed the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Suddenly, a connected superhero saga spanned across films, captivating generations and cementing Robert as the undisputed anchor of it all. The Hollywood outcast had become its most valuable asset. The industry that once closed every door now begged for his involvement, proving that talent combined with redemption creates an unbeatable force. For over 10 years, he wore the armor with peerless charisma. He guided the Avengers through epic battles, emotional sacrifices, and record-breaking cinematic milestones that redefined modern pop culture. Yet his greatest triumph wasn't box office receipts or global fame. It was the quiet daily discipline of staying sober, maintaining his family, and earning back the trust of everyone he loved. When Tony Stark uttered his final words in Avengers Endgame, it felt like art mirroring real life. A hero who had fallen from the highest heights gave everything to save his universe. The journey came full circle when he finally claimed his Academy Award for Oppenheimer. The boy genius turned Hollywood outcast had officially cemented his legacy among the immortals of cinema. His story remains the ultimate proof that rock bottom is not the end of the road. It can be the solid foundation upon which you build a truly unbreakable future. We all face moments where the lights go out and every door seems bolted shut. But failure only defines you if you refuse to write the next chapter of your life. True strength isn't about avoiding the fall entirely. It is about the quiet courage it takes to dust yourself off and stand back up when nobody else believes you can. Your mistakes do not cancel out your potential. Instead, they provide the depth, wisdom, and empathy needed to achieve things you never thought possible during your darkest hours. History is written by those who refuse to stay down. Robert Downey Jr. showed the world that no matter how deep the darkness, a relentless spirit can always reignite the fire. Legacies aren't built during the easy years, when everything goes according to plan. They are forged in the fires of adversity and tested by the trials you manage to survive. Every icon has a story beneath the headlines, a private struggle that shaped their public triumph. This is what true cinematic greatness looks like when stripped of all illusions. We look past the red carpet glamour to find the human heart beating underneath. Because the most compelling stories are always the ones where failure becomes fuel for transformation. Uncovering these journeys reminds us that even our biggest heroes carry heavy scars. Their victories belong to everyone who has ever had to fight for a second chance. Ambition demands a steep price from those who dare to chase it. Only those willing to lose everything can truly discover what they are made of in the end. From the ashes of personal ruin emerged an indestructible cultural icon. Robert proved that reinvention is the ultimate superpower available to any human willing to put in the work. No contract, no studio executive, and no past mistake could permanently contain a talent this immense. When your foundation is rebuilt from truth, nothing can ever tear it down again. Acting became more than a profession. It became his instrument for redemption. Every character he brought to life carried the emotional weight of a man who understood real suffering. Survival is an everyday practice, requiring fierce boundaries and relentless dedication. He turned his recovery into his greatest strength, inspiring millions facing their own private battles. Look at him now, commanding rooms, captivating audiences, and reminding the entire world what grace under pressure truly looks like when a fallen star chooses to rise once more. His journey is not just a Hollywood anecdote. It is a universal blueprint for anyone trying to reclaim their life after taking a devastating fall from grace. When the projector rolls and the screen lights up, we are witnessing living history, a testament to human resilience that will inspire cinema lovers for generations to come. Every great narrative reaches its pinnacle when the protagonist overcomes their deepest obstacle. Robert conquered his inner demons and secured his place at the very pinnacle of cinematic royalty. The armor may have been laid to rest, but the impact echoes through every frame of film he touched. His legacy is etched permanently into the history of modern entertainment. Whenever life knocks you down to the canvas, remember Robert Downey Jr. Remember that your story isn't over until you decide to stop fighting for your own redemption. It only takes one person to believe in you, and one moment of unwavering courage to turn a complete catastrophe into an unforgettable masterpiece of human survival and triumph. Legends aren't born flawless. They are forged in the fires of their worst mistakes. Robert Downey Jr. proved that no fall is too deep if you have the courage to climb back up. This is what Legacy Lens TV is all about, bringing you the untold truths, the raw struggles, and the remarkable triumphs behind the famous names you thought you knew. Behind every marquee name lies a grueling test of human endurance. We go past the headlines to find the authentic stories of sacrifice, failure, and ultimate breakthrough. Every icon has a hidden chapter waiting to be uncovered. Our journey into the greatest legacies in history, sports, and entertainment has only just begun to unfold. If this incredible story of resilience resonated with you, do not let the journey end here. Another legendary tale is waiting to be discovered in our next episode. Subscribe to Legacy Lens TV right now, hit that notification bell, and join our community as we continue exploring the true stories behind the world's most enduring icons. Drop a comment below telling us whose legacy you want us to uncover next. Because here at Legacy Lens TV, every single legacy has a story.